What up, mudda people? It is your boy Kevin Yee, the Farm D, aka Kevin the Refugee. How's my lighting looking? It's looking a little dark right now. Let me adjust a few things. Turn this brightness up. How do I do that? Anyways, if you guys are tuning in, welcome to my Sunday stream where, honestly, I'm doing something like tea time. So I'm just sipping on some oolong tea. So first thing, coffee, cheers, bam. I didn't take a sip, it's fucking hot, so I'm not gonna do that. But basically this is the time where we just kind of riff. I Q&A your questions and all that sort of stuff too. I got to upload a thumbnail really quick too, but man, this week has been pretty solid for me, believe it or not. Financially, it was really great. I had 2 days where I made almost like $1,000. So two $2,000 days this week, which is really, really cool. And I had some really good days the other week as well. Emotionally too, in terms of the breakup and stuff, I've been doing all right, a lot better in terms of coping and all that. I was really talking to my neurohacking coach who always, he's more of a friend, and he's been just really helping me out, like with dealing with grief and dealing with loss and healthier coping mechanisms. And I think even this week I had a better idea of what kind of relationships I wanted. Like, for example, he was listening to me speak, and let me turn the volume down a little bit because it looks like it's clipping a little bit. But he was listening to me speak, and one of the biggest realizations I had this week was that relationships, the relationship I want, that I'm looking for, you don't simply find a great relationship. They have to be built. And that really, really resonated with me because, especially with my ex as well, I really want to get like couples therapy and all that as well. And she, for one reason or other, she just didn't want to, or she just doesn't have capacity to. Either way, it just made me feel a lot better knowing that, I still wanted to work things out and all that as well. So moving across the I guess my morning as well, but it made me feel a lot better. And sometimes as well with breakups, sometimes we get so caught up in our heads that we forget, or I forget, I'll speak for myself, that sometimes like things have nothing to do with me. It could be with my other partner. Maybe she's not ready. Maybe there's something else, but it doesn't mean that there's always something wrong with me. Although I do have a video that I'll be posting up soon. I gotta shoot it. Honestly, this week I have not been really good with shooting videos and all that as well. So for those 4 people who are just tuning in, make sure to smash the like button. I'm going to read off your comments to you guys really soon. And what I want to do is I want to change my thumbnail as well, because dude, my thumbnail is really funny. It's just if I were to show you guys right now, let's go on my eCam. Really can open eCam and go here. Dude, this is my thumbnail right now. I probably need to fix that really quick, so I'm going to do that really quick. And I'm going to read your comments in a second as well. So I'm just going to move this, go to live streams. Come on. Go to live streams, turn this on. I wish there was a more automated way that YouTube could do this as well, like rather than me having manually do it, but it's okay. It is what it is as well. So let's change my video thumbnail. And I've been editing my thumbnails with good old AirDrop with an iPhone, which really helps, by the way, because honestly, I've been also, something cool is that I found out from my friend that I can copy something to my clipboard here and put it onto my Mac, which is really, really cool and really dope. I like that a lot. So I just changed my thumbnail so it looks less dorky. Let's not do any updates while I'm streaming right now. Make sure to smash the like button, y'all. Would really appreciate it. Looks fair to me. Awesome. So how many hours input for those $2,000 days? Really, probably like, I would say maybe 4 hours for each of those. I took maybe 1.5 hours each call, maybe. One of them actually took a lot longer because I had to wait for my clothes to go through a bank. But yeah, I basically one call closed like two $7,800 deals. And by the way, it's 780 at the minimum for each of one of those deals. Depends if I get like 12.5 or 15%, I'll go up to like almost 2,000 as well. So that's kind of like where 2,000 came from. I had other revenue sources as well, like some of my old gear that I sold actually sold as well, and so I had a few $1,000 days and all that. But things are starting to slowly ramp up. Had my first meetings with my closing students as well, my first beta test. So things are going really well. They're loving the program. Obviously with coaching, there's some people that are falling more behind than others, but I do my best to keep them ahead of schedule and just make sure that we get results. I threw two of my coaching students on potential offers too. So they should be, they're going to be learning how to set on that offer. I don't know if they're going to be there long term, but it's really my goal to get as much experience for my coaching students as well. So there's that. What's your largest comp check? In one day, I think the highest day I've had so far was probably like a $6,000 day. That's like in my pocket. Like we're talking in my pocket. But that was like when I first started my coaching business, honestly. All the payments came in one day. I had some closes. I like my closing agency closed some deals too, and I had some more money there. But right now, I mean, I just been reinvesting the money back into more coaching, more tools for us as well, like in terms of my business. So I actually just bought this really cool product. It's called Product Hunt, and apparently they waive your first 50,000 on all Stripe fees, and so that's going to be really huge, and it's going to pay for itself, and it's going to be money in my pocket. So really, really excited for that as well. So try to find different systems and different ways. I'm also hiring last week I had to do some hires too for closers on my clients' offers. So I was running interviews as well, trying to see which candidates were good, which candidates aren't good. And you'd be surprised, like honestly, in this world of closing and agency and finding good people to do good work, especially in this online business, like is very, very tough. It's hard to find someone who actually has the credentials to actually do a great job. And then the second thing is it's hard to find reliable people. You'll find a lot of mercenaries and stuff, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with mercenaries, by the way. If you're just there for a check, that's fine. But I also know that you're probably not going to be there long term. And that means for me, I need to retrain people as well. So it's obviously not my goal to really like, and it's if people like are deceptive on an interview too, it's just like it only hurts them too. Not only hurts us, but it hurts them, and it makes me, since closing is a small world, this probably will not be my last offer that I manage. I'll probably never hire them again as well. But so I always encourage open, honest communication. I try to find people who are reliable too. So it's really, really tough, guys. I'm telling you, the bar is not that. You don't have to cross a huge bar, So we went through an agency recently to do that. Kevin, same here. Partner didn't want to get couple or individual counseling. I'm trying to retrieve items from shared apartment as we speak. Well, Dr. Lee, I'm so sorry that happened to you as well. Yeah, let's all jump on the breakup train, y'all. And for those who want to jump on the like train, for those 5 people that are watching, yes, you motherfucker. Yeah, would appreciate a like as well, just so that we can spread this stream to other people as well. Let me take a sip of the H2 to the Izzo. Would you be an entrepreneur in sales? Example, VP of sales. I've heard this term of entrepreneur, and although it's kind of like you're bringing, and for y'all that don't know what an entrepreneur is, it's basically you're bringing these concepts from entrepreneurship into a internal organization and whatnot. Based off my personality, I just really value my freedom a lot. And it's something that I think is very different from other people, because like other people don't mind working jobs, but for some reason, it's just the way I'm built. I really don't like working for jobs. I really don't like working for other people. Clients is different because I still have control of how I want to execute for my client. I have that as well. And I don't know, it's the perception of like, or maybe the way it's like placed in my hands where it's me controlling my scope of work and choosing how I deliver as well. Like never once do I ever feel forced to deliver for my clients. But for some reason, when I'm at a job, I don't like being told what to do. And that's something that's really innate with me. I noticed that with like my parents. One of my friends mentioned it too recently, that I don't like being told what to do. And it's true. I mean, not to say that I don't listen to other people, right? I'm very like, I try to be very receptive toward feedback, especially more these days, and being really open to it. But I also like, I think there's a part of it, which is like, I just want the choice to choose what I think is best for myself as well. And I feel very strongly about it because at the end of the day, you have to, whatever decision you make, whether it's in your business, whether it's your career, whether it's your love life, whatever it is, I'm going to be talking about it in one of my future videos very soon, is that they're not the ones who have to live with the consequences. You do. And I think that's very, very important to always keep in mind as well. Like, you know, when people are giving you recommendations or suggestions or telling you what to do, they're not the ones that have to deal with the consequences. Maybe if it's work or if it's a business, if it's their business, yeah, I could understand why they want to tell you to do something a certain way. But yeah, but it also goes the other way too. Like when I'm working with clients, I always give my clients like their different options. I always let them choose what they want to do. Same with closing. I always give them the options. I give them what I always like lay out all their options. One of the options is doing absolutely nothing, but there is a cost to that. And I make sure that they know that cost. And I've had people literally like be in denial and be like, no, I'll figure it out myself. I'm like, good luck, you know, wish you the best of luck. If you want to make that choice, it's not for me to live with that, but you would be fooling yourself. You would be fooling yourself that you can do it by, be doing like some sort of digital marketing service or whatever, because you would have done it already if you really wanted it. Right. So that's kind of like my take on that as well. Entrepreneur question. Great question. Rohan as well. I just go to my Mac. Any tips? What happened to your closing team? In terms of my closing team, I would say I dissolve like a lot. There's a high turnover for closers. So currently I'm trying to retrain new talent under my coaching business right now. And I'm trying to look for offers for them too. Now, will I always be able to do this? No, because eventually I'll have enough, like I'll have, depending on how many inquiries I get, I can connect them to different opportunities and stuff like that. But yeah, I really like, a lot of them like just didn't want to do closing. Closing is hard, guys. It's not easy. It's not an easy skill. But once you kind of understand the basic frameworks of closing, it becomes a lot easier. And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to close my 2 deals. But if I didn't have a lot of experience on the phone. 2, if I didn't care about my actual prospects on the other side of the phone. And 3, if I didn't have a system in place, you know. And those are things that help me close. But it's hard. It's really hard to like throw yourself in a vulnerable state where you suck all the time, dude. It's not easy picking up the phone and just being fluid. People are ask me like, how are you so good with these comebacks? And it's like through falling on my ass, like eating shit a lot of time, you know? And that's kind of like your life with closing sometimes as well. So there's that. Is your yearly income range around 6 to 7 figures for online coaching and investments? My investments are over 6 figures. My coaching, it's early to say, but I am on track of a 6-figure business at the moment right now, through coaching alone. Through my agency, we'll have to see because we're scaling up. I think I'm also on track for 6 figures for that. Closing, I'm on track for 6 figures for that as well. So, yeah, like honestly, like I'm hitting all my goals at the moment, in terms of business, and it wasn't easy. Like, yeah, the first month was really, really, really tough. It was super, super, super tough for me the first month because I wasn't taking on any clients. I was trying to build out my coaching program. I was trying to make sure everything was taken care of. And now that everything's kind of more so built, and I have everything planned, it's so much easier. And I cannot imagine taking on this new client, fulfilling for my old clients and doing all that. And it's just very, very intensive. Coaching is not easy too. I do realize like the first cohort that I took on, I probably charged too little actually, believe it or not. But it's okay. I'm trying to do proof of concept. Like I told my coaching students, yeah, things are going to be broken. Things are going to be incomplete, but you will get everything. I will promise that as well. But that's what you're paying for in a beta program. You're not paying for the full pristine version, clean version as well. So there's that at the moment. But yes, just to answer your question, Red Pill Alpha. Yeah. And by the way, 5 people, man, come on. Smash the like button, y'all. Would appreciate it. Ever thought about doing part-time pharmacy? Good question. I actually thought about it at one point. Maybe doing the vaccines just to grab a bag. But honestly, my time's worth too much now. Honestly, like I'd rather be focusing on. So there's 2 types of income, right? There's like the earned income that you have, like where you exchange time for money. I have that income already. I have the scalable income with my closing agency as well for like consultation services. So that's when I'm leveraging the assets I built for my time. I would consider coaching as a hybrid of the two. It's like I'm partly relying on the assets I've built already, right? So I'm relying on that and also exchanging time for money too as well. So coaching is a little bit of both. And then obviously the true passive investments are like the stock market, my Bitcoin, my cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. And then eventually it's going to be real estate, I'm pretty sure, right? I'm just loving the real estate market at the moment. I think fully committed to it because you just got to focus on one thing at a time. And right now there's too many things in flux. Like honestly, we're still doing hiring for my closing agency. So I'm waiting for that to get more stabilized. And I want to keep people there for the long term. I'm trying to create a culture where we can sustain lifelong learning and just have a bunch of people just super, super happy there as well. So the way I structure commissions and all that sort of stuff, like I try to emulate that as well. And I do a very in-depth interview about like what I'm looking for and what they're looking for too, and see if we could do that for them as well, right? So in terms of pharmacy, but if I was going to do pharmacy, Matt, the thing is like I'm exchanging time for money, which is not solving the problem of creating more assets for me to really like exchange the value of my assets for money as well. Like that's how I'm thinking at the moment. So no, I guess at the current moment, I'm not thinking about it, but I still have my license just in case, like I need to grab a bag, that happens. So there's something like that. Smash the like button, says, help me, Dr. Lee. Kevin, I feel you. Been single after my BS. I thought you meant bullshit in biochem, but yes, bachelor's in biochem, bachelor of science. But I did hoe around a bit in college. I'm prepping for med school next fall. Took a gap year, focusing on my career. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I'm glad that you are focusing on that. Hence your name, Red Pill Alpha, right? And so, yeah, like I'm not really into the hoeing around apart like too much. I think I'm a very emotional type of person where it's like I just want to waste time honestly on that stuff, but then I'm open to like dating and stuff too, right? But I just don't want to, in the game that I'm in, especially with the entrepreneurial world, it's such a state-based business where you need to make sure that you're always in good state. So recently, like speaking about being in good state, it's like I'm spending more time with the people I really just have fun with and I feel happy around with, versus feeling obligated spending time with people as well, right? Like I'm very conscious about the energy I spend around people. And I also, with that being said, I'm conscious about that. And then I've also been celebrating. So whenever I get a big contract or a big win, for example, those days I hit 2K on my 2K day, I went out with my friend Athena, right? And she was having like a pretty rough day, pretty busy day at work and stuff. And I was just like, hey, you want to go out? You want to go out for dinner or something? We'll celebrate. I just hit a big day. She's like, what? okay, let's do it. So then we bought, I took her out to a really nice dinner. And I think like more these days, I just want to share the wealth with my friends and stuff, my friends, colleagues and stuff. Since she's in the digital marketing business, we talked business too and stuff like that. But it's just really great just kicking with a lot of my friends. I want to start doing that a little bit more, especially when I have these big days. I'm thinking about whenever I do a major 1K day or something at a minimum, I'm gonna do that a lot more. I can write it off as a tax, especially if we're talking about business and stuff, taxes for business and stuff too. So there's that. True story, but my first semester of college, I failed all 4 of my classes due to drinking and smoking. But next 3.5, I grinded, finished with a 3.92 average. Congrats, bro. Like, yo, hold on. Slow clap, bro. That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you, Red Pill Alpha. Like, that's really great that you grinded, man. Sometimes it just takes pain for us to really take action. But sometimes, like, when we dig ourselves a deep enough hole, it might be too late sometimes, just like with relationships and all that sort of stuff. So I'm glad that, you know, it really, like, especially for us men, it's really important to eat shit sometimes for us to learn. And it took me a lot, like with this relationship, I ate a lot of shit to realize that I need to grow a lot more and how much more I need to grow as well. Just not only as a person, but also as a man and masculine, being a leader too. And by the way, for those 6 people, man, why aren't you smashing the like button? Would appreciate it, y'all. Failure leads to success. Wholeheartedly agree, Red Pill Alpha. Hey, I'm about to get on a plane and go to Vegas. I know Kevin doesn't drink and gamble, but I do. Alex, if I was in Vegas, I would be so happy to meet you up, bro, but not there yet. So, yeah, appreciate it. Jason says, Ferris says, I started researching inbound closing. There's a lot to learn, but very excited to learn from your resources. What are some good starting points besides your resource links? Well, so there's kaizenclosing.com/masterclass, .com/masterclass. That's like my go-to resource, and it gives everything you need to know about closing and high ticket programs. I sent it to my friend who's planning to launch a coaching offer pretty soon. And so we're going to do that. And yeah, so we're going to do that. And it's going to be really, really, like, he's going to be taking notes and try and launch his coaching program with that. But it'll give you all the basics that you need to know. But if you're looking for external people, I have a video on books as well. So if you look that up, you can see my favorite closing books as well. I have it in a playlist somewhere. I think I talk about like Never Split the Difference, Challenger. Was it Challenger Sale? Frick, I can't remember. The Gap. I think it's Gap Selling. That was the second book in Wolf on Wall Street one. Straight Line Method. Those are my favorite sales books. But if you're looking for good YouTube channels, I've been following Patrick Dang a little bit. Yeah, I even sent him a video. He just sent me a very short one-lined answer, by the way. I don't know if he's busier and whatnot, or he just doesn't give a fuck about his viewers or people who send him props, but hey, doesn't matter. His content is still pretty solid. I've been watching it. Very professional and all that sort of stuff, so I'd highly recommend you watching him if you get a chance. But yeah, like I'm shooting more and more videos about how I like close like some of these deals. Like I closed almost 15K in deals just in those last 2 days of last week. I think I kind of cracked the code of this funnel. And so that's what closing is. Sometimes you just have to take enough calls where you just understand the offers and understand the main motivators that will push most people to, like, it's not manipulating, but it's like really tweaking, like, oh, these are the most important benefits that most people care about. What are all the ways that people fail in a particular program or with a certain business model, and connecting the lowest hanging fruit for people? That's something that I've been learning a lot more, is like, how do I convey the value of a program, an offer, a service? What is the lowest hanging fruit? And I think that's really important. I think it's so important that I need another, what's that called? I need another like module in it in my Kaizen closing thing. I'm actually going to write that down. Hold on for a second. Lowest hanging fruit. Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's see who else is in here as well. I feel like if I did PT retail pharmacy, it would be to remind myself why I'm trying to get out. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is PT much better than pharmacy? I would hope so, honestly. They seem a lot happier in my opinion. Just drank like 32 ounces of water, y'all. Pretty crazy. I feel you, Kevin. Matthew says thank you. No problem, man. I feel you, Kevin. It's really sad to see how women these days. Really sad to see how women are these days. I've seen countless number of men in college get manipulated by women, and majority of guys don't get noticed. It's sad to see. Yeah, like honestly, most women I talk to, maybe it's the people I attract, or maybe it's the people. When I say attract, I'm not talking about like the dating type of people, but most women I know, they're non-manipulative. I just don't. I think I make it a pretty big priority in my life nowadays to not deal with bullshit type of, not only women, but people. I mean, there's guys who manipulate others, who have beta bitch energy, who are passive aggressive and all that sort of stuff. Have I ever done that sort of stuff? Probably in the past. No one's perfect. But if it's consistent and it's draining my energy and taking my energy away from what matters in life, changing people's lives, creating kick-ass content, giving back to my coaching student, I just cut it out, man. Like there's a lot of negativity out there, especially in the YouTube world and YouTube comments and stuff like that. And it's really, really tough. But most women I don't know what kind of women you're around, Red Pill, and maybe it's different within your college like experience too. Because when I was in college, I had to deal with a lot of people that I don't want to say didn't care about, but also kind of like didn't like as well. I think that was another thing for me. Like those were some interesting things. Oh, by the way, Alex, really appreciate you modding. Really, really do. Thank you, bro. You're the MVP. Man, when I failed my classes first semester of college as a freshman, I got put in academic probation. Hey, join the club, bro. Like I've been on academic warning, not probation, but I was on that track twice. Once in pharmacy school, once at undergrad, because I was fucking around way too much. I was heated, but learned my lesson. Literally had a 0.0 GPA. I remember there was one time I failed like 3 or 4 classes. Thank God I had APs, man, because if so, I probably would not graduate in time. By the way, for those 9 people who have it, make sure to smash the like button. Appreciate it, y'all. For sure, I go 1 year at least 3, at least. And Ellis Island has been a great steak special. $7.99 for a full steak dinner, but I'm a low roller, but I hit hard. That's so funny. I love me like steak dinners in Vegas too. But some things I'm gonna miss, man. I'm gonna miss the jujitsu, bro. Like I'm gonna miss. I'm not gonna miss the beach since I don't go too much. But I have a lot of great friends in LA, and hopefully I can crash at their place or get a really nice Airbnb, write that off, and do some great videos on the weekends. That's what I'm looking forward as well. Hagao says, I got F on my first midterm of Bio 1. Man, I failed my first, speaking about failures, I mean, I failed like organic chemistry my first time. And I think maybe did I fail a second time? Maybe I failed the second time. I can't remember. And then I passed with flying colors the third time, and I don't know. It's just like sometimes you just have to eat massive shit, but we all like, guess what? So Hagao, I know you're a pharmacist. Red Pill Alpha, I don't know. You are still in school, so you're going to be in med school. But let me ask you guys this. How many guys have fucked up in college before and have made really bad mistakes, right? Like I want to ask you guys that because honestly, we probably all have gone through something like that before as well. And so if you have, like, hey, mention it on the stream, no judgment at all. But I hope it goes to show you that you can mess up in life, in your courses. It is not the end of the world, y'all. It truly is not. It's not worth like stressing over. You just have to learn your lesson. The most important thing, you gotta learn your lesson about what went wrong and just adjust. Just very simple. Let's see. By PT, I meant part-time. Oh, I thought you said physical therapy. So you said, if I feel like I did part-time retail pharmacy, it would be to remind myself why I'm trying to get out. Yeah. Absolutely, my man. Isaiah says, yo, Kevin, I've been to MIA for a bit. Yo, Isaiah, what's up, bro? Nice seeing you in here, man. Probably you've been focused on your craft, on everything that you're doing as well. Appreciate it. And for the 4 people who haven't, man, make sure to like the video. I almost failed regular college. I want to become a Walmart greeter. I took 5.5 years for undergrad, a mini Van Wilder. Damn, that's such an old reference. I have not, believe it or not, I've not watched that like whole video as well. Like that whole movie. I really haven't. So hold on for a second. I should make more mods, dude. I don't know why I don't do this a lot more. We all know how Port Orgo is to be a pharmacist. Imagine not being able to explain a backside nuclear SN2, man, nucleophilic attack during a CVS interview. Imagine not being able to explain the difference between ethyl alcohol and isopropyl alcohol. Huge difference, y'all. Shit like that. Yeah. So it's especially like, it's so funny. I know there's a few pharmacists on here. Do you guys ever find it pretty funny when people are like, I can't be a pharmacist, I'm not good at like organic chemistry? How many times do you get that? I get that a lot of times, guys. And it just tells me like, I don't know, no matter how many times I say it, maybe I just need to do a separate video. Like, you do not need to be good at organic chemistry to be a pharmacist, right? Like, you just need to know enough to pass your classes, honestly. Like, really, at the end of the day, that's all that we use Orgo for. It's kind of cool knowing and look at different structures and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, I kind of forgot a lot of my medicinal chemistry stuff that I learned in pharmacy school. I forgot a lot, actually, but that's what CEs are for and practice is for. I mean, really, if you forget something, chances are you're not using it. And if you really need it, you can always just relearn it over again. It's really not that hard, especially especially if you have like Lexicon or something like that. That'd be really cool. That you can learn anything really quick. I graduated college at 21. I'm probably going to be like in med school for 9 years doing radiation oncology. Kevin, can I be a mod? Haha. Maybe. So the reason why I made Isaiah and Hagao a moderator and Alex a moderator because they've been on this channel for a while. So maybe if you tune on more of my streams, man, I'm more than happy to make you a mod later. But appreciate it. Why don't you message me offline and then we can talk, man. Hey, yeah, new gig is fun as AF. The pay is good. I was on YouTube teaching myself some Japanese, saw your stream, had to hop in. That's great, man. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Thanks for the info. I'll be studying immensely. I'm like on the fence about that YouTube advertisement about that Peyton Welch character. I don't know. Your authenticity encourages me to make an effort. Yeah, I mean, it's a real industry. It's not easy, Jason, but in my opinion, it's one of the most freeing. It's kind of cool getting headhunted in a new career that most people want to dive into. But there's a lot of young kids who want to dive into closing. That's what they think they need to do. But honestly, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not like people just want. I talk to people who just want, I just want fast cash. And it's like, no, bro. It's like, you have to commit to this for the long term because it's not something that you'll get in like a year, like 6. Start getting the hang of it maybe in 6 months, maybe be decent in a year, really work up the skills the next year, and then really come to, like, I consider myself maybe a blue belt, honestly, with closing. I don't think I'm the best closer, but I think I'm very process oriented, and I just care a lot about people. I just try to fix people's problems, and I call out people's bullshit on the phone, like when in a very compassionate way. Like for example, I always test people's like what they say and their actions too, like on the call, right? Like for example, they need to move money around. They can't do a certain service or program. I'm just like, okay, cool. As a faith of your commitment as well, let's just put a simple deposit down. That's when you see if they're serious or not. Like it'll be a simple, even $100, right? See if they really want to do it. They're like, no, Kevin, I just want to pay in full. I'm like, okay, so by paying in full, what are we hoping to accomplish today, right? I'll throw that out, and some bullshit answer comes out. Typically, it's like, is that the real core issue here? Like, I'll really challenge them as well. And a lot of time, like you filter out the strokers that way, so you don't have to waste your time following up with people and all that sort of stuff, right? Because I've talked to a lot of people in my life, and actions speak louder than words. If you're willing to put some sort of deposit, some sort of commitment down, you can hold them accountable and all that. So that's something new I've been playing with a lot. Yeah, and I just don't waste my time with people who aren't willing to invest in themselves at all. And at that point, I just make the call not to pursue forward. Whew, that was a little bit about closing. Granted, orgo is useful for medicinal chemistry, but that's for more research academia side of things. Absolutely. I like organic chemistry. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really interesting to think about how these things like interact with each other and all that as well. It's very, very interesting. Let's see. Mohammed says, I am a medical student in Arabic startup about localized content. Could I have a paid, if needed, session with you to know about your precious opinion about business model as a creator? Mohammed, you can either email me at subscribers@refugeehustle.com, or you can slide through my Instagram DMs and just reference the stream, and we can talk. I think like if there's something specific, then we can talk about that as well. So be happy to see if I can help. If the goal was to join an agency like the one it would be the goal to join an agency like the one you've created. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like for me, agency work is really, really, well, you're not trying to run the agency, so it's not tough, but trying to do agency model is not as easy as what people think. People think they can have 10 billion, or run 10 different accounts. I thought that, at least when I first started, but it's really, really hard. And you always got to make sure you have enough fulfillment and all that sort of stuff too. So, for me to join my agency, I guess, I only work with people I've directly worked with in the past through other clients. But more so, I'm just hiring within my coaching group as well. So those are major qualifiers. It's not because I think people should pay for an opportunity, but it's more of a trust type of thing too. Like when I work with someone on a longer engagement and I feel comfortable recommending them because it is my name that goes on there, then that's when I feel like that. But there's a lot of other agencies too, Jason, as well. So I would say start off with the masterclass first. It'll give you everything you need to know. But typically the people that watch my masterclass, they're like, wow, Kevin, that is a lot of information. And people have that at that point, they can just try it out themselves, see how that goes for them. Or, they just realize I don't want to do it. That's the second option. But third one is I want to do it, but I need help. And that's where my coaching kind of fits in. But if you can do it by yourself, be my guest, shoot your shot, bro. Van Wilder's only 19 years old. It can almost drink. David Fong says, enjoyed your super detailed review on Ali's course. Just wondering if you could take any moments to discuss any thoughts that were not in the video or your thoughts generally on Ali. Thanks. I love Ali, David. If there's something, by the way, David, if there's something like that you want to know very specifically, hey, feel free to let me know, bro. And I'll be happy to answer this as well. But in terms of the review on Ali's course, I mean, I like Ali. At the end of the day, he's a very caring guy. He always takes the time to answer his students' questions. Keep in mind he's always a business too, but yeah, like I think his course, like, and I haven't gone through like the second cohort too much. I just haven't had as much time to kind of devote toward it since now I'm taking on new clients and whatnot. But even from the first cohort, like as I'm going through everything again, it's just helping me kind of plug in the gaps that I missed the first cohort as well. But I definitely know I need to spend more time going through his second cohort as well. But I really like I really love his. I think though some of Ali's best traits is like, one, he cares about his students. He legit cares about people. Second thing is that he's super process oriented, where most business, I mean, when you have a business, you need to be process oriented, whether you believe you're a business or not. When you have a YouTube channel, you are a business. So you got to make sure you have a consistent brand experience as well. And third thing is like the guests he brings on, because it's kind of like he's learning from them, but we're like in real time, like learning from these people as well. So I was actually asking questions to a YouTuber guest that he brought on in the, it was either in the inner circle or this first cohort. And it was very, very enlightening to see the type of people that he brings on. And especially in inner circle, I get to see the kind of questions that I get to see the behind the scenes of his YouTube channel, which helps a lot as well. So there's that. But if you have a question, David, please let me know. My favorite objection is, I don't really have the money right now, which honestly, that is, I mean, to me, that's not really an objection, right? Because if you do a good job, especially with closing, you'll find out the money upfront, right? Depending on what you offer or what you're doing. So for example, there's a real estate offer I'm on right now. And one of the things that, I mean, to do real estate, obviously you need some sort of working capital. You need to know their financial information like credit, because all these things determine their exit strategies in real estate. But if you're doing something non-real estate, maybe digital marketing, you still need to find out their marketing budget right now, how much they're reinvesting into the marketing, how much they have allocated as well. All that sort of stuff. Like it's different, and what their current ad spend is. All that is really, really important, because one, it sets up the close, but two, I think more importantly, just from a logistics point of view of working with someone, I always mention that you always want to keep things should always be upfront with people, right? Like, I always mention to people like, hey, if we were to work together, I'm sure you wouldn't want surprise on your end, and neither do we from our end, right? And so that's when you're getting money objections. To me, it's not a real objection because maybe you're not doing, I don't know what you're doing, Isaiah. Maybe you're just saying that. But like for me, like when I hear like, oh, that's an objection, it's probably because you didn't do a good enough discovery up front. And so when people say that near the end, since I have that information, I just say, hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page, but I'm a little bit confused. Earlier, you mentioned you had X amount of dollars. You said you're comfortable with that. And now you're saying you don't have any money. So is it the money that what's the core issue that we're trying to solve here? Is it the value, or is it the actual finances part as well, right? Diving into that a little bit deeper, right? Or I'll ask like, hey, what's really on your mind, Isaiah? Right? What's really on your mind? Earlier you said this, now you're saying this. What's really on your mind, right? If there's a problem that we need to fix, let's fix it right now, right? That's kind of like how I deal with objections a lot of time. I always try to stay objective, but like if there's any discrepancies, I'll bring them up and ask them what's really going on, right? And if they don't want to do it, I'm like, hey, if you don't want to do it too, hey, Isaiah, if you don't want to move forward to it, like if you don't want to take action and start moving toward your goals, that's totally cool too. You just let me know. But there's this discrepancy here that I'm seeing at the moment. Is it really about the money? Dick? No, just kidding. You don't have to add that part. Do you have alternative investments? What do you mean by alternative investments? Do you mean like cryptocurrency and all that? Or help me understand what you mean, Rohan. Feel free to drop in the chat. If you don't mind, or if you don't, if you got asked about it. But recently, what's your take on the violence against Asians recently? Any cases in LA? Personally, I haven't seen any like personal attacks on Asians, but I know it's going pretty crazy out there. Fortunately, like I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like I think I heard this statistic. I don't know if it's true, y'all, but there's like 5%. I guess Asians make 5% of this nation, like like population, which makes us a really big minority. Obviously, I think it's messed up. I think it's really messed up. Any like violence toward anyone. It doesn't have to be Asian specifically, but especially when I see like elderly abuse and all that sort of stuff, that's just fucked up. It's not a part of productive. It's not part of a productive or healthy society. That's not how we should be doing things. And it's usually just ignorant people or ratchet ass people just upset with their circumstances. I try to be very compassionate toward people, man, and try not to like demonize the people who are committing these crimes. Don't get me wrong, it's really fucked up. It's really wrong. But I think in order to really solve the problem, we have to take a step back and really think about why are people doing these type of things? Are they frustrated because of Corona at the moment and they just want to take it out on us and they don't have anyone else to take on it? They're putting themselves in a victim mindset or something like that too. Like I said, I don't think it's right what they're doing. I think it's actually really fucked up. These people need to be held accountable. But if we're going to solve this problem, we got to figure out like what is the core belief that most people have against like Asians as well. That's how I think of things. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's just the way I think at the moment. Someone's asking if I peed in the shower. That's so funny, dude. I mentioned that because it isn't really objection, more so a front for the fear of the real objection. I think so too, Isaiah. Like money, like I said, is like when you have clarity about the actual solution, like when something is so clear, like to you, and I make it a no-brainer on the phone for you, there's really no reason why not to do it, right? And it really challenges them. You really like. I think part of closing is like, yes, like you are getting all the information, you are putting everything in front of them, but you're facing people to confront that uncomfortable truth that what they're saying is not being reflected into their actions as well. And I think that's very, very like, it's a very tough thing for a lot of people to swallow, especially when they're like, I'm ready to do this, Kevin. Oh, wait, now I have to pay? Not ready. Well, what changed? Like really, what changed between a second ago and right now, right? What's the real fear? And if people aren't comfortable talking about the real fear, then guess what? It's not your fault. It's not your responsibility to baby them through the whole thing. They need to work on that on their own and figure that out as well if they're not open to talking about it. Like I ask a lot of times like, hey, what is the core issue that we need to solve in order for you to take some sort of action today, right? Toward your goals. Do you still want to do your goals? Does the plan that we outlined make sense? Is there any reason why you would fail, assuming that we gave you the appropriate resources and all that as well, right? It has to be something. And if they aren't willing to talk about that, then, hey, it's fine. Let them go. They're not ready. They aren't ready. And you just let them know. And it's not like a hard push or hard, but it's like, especially if you're taking any sort of coaching program or maybe even like a service type of business too, like when you're offering digital marketing, it's like, it's kind of like, I don't want to say entitlement that comes on the phone, but this is business. This is life. You have to invest at some point, right? Like you have to invest at some point, whether you want to do real estate or something else, or you're going to pay in either like, through the school of hard knocks, through trial and error, and you have to be willing to do that. But you can't, like, people want it both ways. You can't have that, it just doesn't work like that a lot of times as well. Let's see, man, lot of troll comments right now. Gotta head out, have dinner with the family. Take care, Kev. I'll message you offline. Appreciate it, Isaiah. See you later. Have you moved out of LA? If not, what is your plan? I'm planning to go to Vegas. I'm planning to at least like stay with my uncle for maybe about 6 months to half a year to a year. By the way, I got interviewed for LA Times recently as well. So I got interviewed for them. They might be sending a photographer to take pictures of me as well. And all that should be really, really exciting. But I don't know. I just kind of gave my breakdown of my situation, why I'm leaving LA. So I might do that. And then I might go to Asia. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that at the moment, but everything's still up in the air. I don't know. Especially with the relationship breakup and all that. Maybe it's just time for new scenery or something just new. And I don't know. Like, that's the plan for now. And I'm just putting one foot in front of the other and letting the business kind of like settle down for a moment. There's a lot of like, I gotta just focus on what's in front of me, my coaching business and my agency as well, and just fulfilling for my current client too. So there's that. Let's see. I'm gonna like all these like trash comments. I'm just gonna like remove and shit. Let's just hide user as well. Cool. Great. Yeah, so that's kind of like my take. By the way, if you guys are still tuning into this, make sure to like this video as well. Would appreciate it. And let's just hide this trash comments, honestly. So yeah, just got rid of all these like comments and stuff like that. Honestly, like I think one of the things too from YouTube, I don't know, obviously you guys are seeing it too. We're starting to get trolls on here and stuff like that, which is cool and all, but honestly, like recently I just haven't had the capacity to deal with like trolls and stuff. I think over the last, I would say half a year, I've been kind of like, honestly, like I've been very protective of my energy as well, right? If there's something I don't like, I just get rid of it in my life. If there's something I want, I work for it. And I think there's something about that, guys, as well. Like maybe you don't have trolls. Maybe you guys aren't YouTubers or anything like that. Maybe there is some sort of obstacle in front of your way. But it's very empowering to just take power back into your life. One of my friends, my neurohacking coach, he's actually a pharmacist. Believe it or not, I think we competed for the same job and he actually won out over me, believe it or not. It's pretty funny. But we were just talking and he was telling me that, hey, Kevin, you made a really strong decision today, man. I was like, hey, what was that? He was like, you want to commit to a really better relationship, not only for your romantic life, but also in your personal life as well, you know? And so for me, I always think about like, how can I make, what is my ideal lifestyle and how can I get there as well? And I have all these goals that I have on paper as well. I just paid my good friend, Patrick Donabedian, and he's my coach, my black belt 10 planet jiu-jitsu coach. And I just paid for a consult. I recorded it. We're going to upload it to YouTube very soon. But it's kind of like taking these steps of investing back into yourself, investing into coaching, investing into these different things. I think that's where people kind of stay stagnant sometimes, is like you're just going through the initial motions, but you're never willing to take a step back or invest in yourselves too. Investing is not easy for most people. Like when you hear people investing into like 5K programs or 10K programs, you're just like, whoa, that's crazy. But even all the top salespeople I know, they're investing almost like 30K per year to get top-notch results and stuff like that. It's just really, really interesting what I see from like, I guess like entrepreneurs of all different levels, right? And I would consider myself like beginner/intermediate probably. I don't think I'm super advanced, but it's just really interesting to see like the type of things that people invest into. But it's so funny, like people like I'm not judging people's investments, but it's interesting to see people's decision-making habits as well. They're so willing to buy that new car for clout, but they're not willing to invest into their future, whether it's in terms of knowledge or monetary investments too. I know it's not sexy, like investing into index funds, not sexy at all. but it's probably one of the easiest investments most people can get into. So those are kind of the thoughts I have as well. What do you think about JK News shutting down their YouTube and doing Patreon full time? I don't think they're shutting down for good. I saw their things. I heard about it too through my friend Michael and stuff like that too. I don't know all the facts, to be honest with you, but I think in terms of that, like, YouTube has changed so much, honestly. And I know their content was always kind of on the risque side, but it's the only way that channel can really survive in this day and age, especially when cancel culture is so big, especially when it's crazy, man. I mean, YouTube is just becoming more and more corporate, I would say. Even my content, I've been kind of cleaning my content up as well, you know, in terms of the language I use and all that. And plus I'm getting older too. Like, swearing is not a big deal anymore, right, for me. And like, I don't know, I feel like I actually feel like I'm getting a lot older too, right, in terms of maturity as well. So but in terms of JK News, I'm glad that they figured out a way, and I think that just shows their business clout as well, just trying to figure out something that can work for the current day and their business model as well. So it's unfortunate that happened, but hey, that's just life sometimes, you know. By the way, guys, for those that are still here, make sure to smash the like button, and we'll be wrapping up very shortly since we are coming up in the hour very soon. Bo says, swag. What's up, swag? Dude, that was such a popular term back in the day. Like, man, I don't remember when, like, that term became, like, super popular. Maybe in, like, 2010, 2000, like, yeah, but does anybody use, like, swag anymore? Like, I don't think most people, like, use that term. I haven't heard that in a while, man. So, there's that. Let's see. And some comments are being held for review. I have this one comment from RC. I don't know why. Someone was asking, when's the last time that you cried? Last time I cried, it was actually in front of one of my friends, believe it or not. And we were talking about, like, my relationship. And then my dad and stuff came up because I was associating loss with that. And I think one of the really sad things for me was that I was talking to my good friend Athena, and I was just saying how, you know, with my dad, it just really sucks because as soon as things were going really, really well with my father, he left so quickly. You know, we never really got to enjoy that relationship that tried repairing at the time. And I think that's the last time I really cried. I get more of a high from index funds. Monitoring individual stocks feels like a full-time job. Exactly, Hagao, you got this right. Like, people don't like. I mean, like, index funds aren't sexy, but it's what people probably need, right? It's like eating your vegetables, right? Like, people want to know the cool workout routines or the cool, like, diet fads, but honestly, sticking to basics like index funds, it's what people probably need. They don't need to watch GME and all that sort of stuff, or AMC or any of these stocks. It's just too much noise, right? For a lot of people. Not saying you can't make money on it. You absolutely can, but it's not the fundamentals, man. I think you can do so much with just the plain fundamentals. I kind of want to do a separate video on it, but I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, do you guys feel the same way? Like, in terms of individual stocks versus, like, index funds and all that? So, yeah. Oh, and now RC's comments popping up. You see this NFT? Yeah, I've seen, like, everybody's talking about NFTs, honestly. And I, like, honestly, like, I was, like, reading them too, like, on Google and stuff like that. I don't really know too much about NFTs, honestly. So, yeah. I know, like, people like Gary Vee and stuff, and they all talk about it and all that, but there's that. All right. Anyways, guys, we're coming up at the last 10 seconds or whatever. I just want to I'll end off and then you guys can dump all your comments right now. But I just want to say for everyone that's tuned in, for the 7 people that are left here, man, just really appreciate all you as well, just supporting my channel, joining me on this Sunday. I honestly, like on these Sundays, I have zero idea what I'm going to talk about, but it's because of you guys that I can do a kick-ass show on what the hell happened to my comment thing. Let me adjust this. It's because of you guys I get to do a kick-ass show where I just sit back, relax, and just talk about things that I just know. And I always think that it's a really great blessing to be able to do that, y'all. So yeah, NBA Top Shot, lol. All right, that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope you guys have a great night, have a great week. Appreciate every single one of y'all as well. Love y'all. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.